Puck time for Tuesday, January 21st, here live on WagerTalk TV. Myself, Andrew McGinnis, Carmine Bianco, and Lawrence Presman here to break down a handful of games, props, best bets, promos, and much, much more. Before I go over to Carmine to see how he's doing and the games he chose for us, I will mention $5 Tuesday at WagerTalk.com. Every handicapper gets one play listed for just $5. Original price $25, $35, depending on what the original play was. And of course, a really good deal. It started last night. $11 a day, $77 for the week. A great deal. If you want all access, all sports, every play from a handicapper, you can get that right now. No coupon code needed. Go to someone's homepage and get these great deals. Carm, good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
Morning, Andrew. I'm doing well this morning. I spent for our we have a lot of guys in our live chat who are putting plays. I asked them for their best plays. I spent this morning. I'm a Canadian, and I spent this morning talking for almost an hour with the IRS. The IRS. Is it possible to dislike two governments, two government financial agencies? It's just like they want all these documents for when I won the Circa event that they don't have them on file. It's just a pain in the ass. But with that said, three games on the card today. I think I picked three games you guys are going to like. Ottawa and the Rangers, two teams that are playing well right now. Carolina, second of a back-to-back after putting in 50-plus shots, I think, on Mrazek last night in Chicago. The Dallas Stars. They play the Dallas Stars in Dallas. Your prop playlist, where you've got some winners for us. And then we're going to finish it off with Washington and Edmonton. And then whenever I'm having a bad day, Andrew, there's always one guy that can cheer me up. And here he is. Prez, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I cheer you up. Wow, Carmine Bianco
Yeah,
with the
man.
kind words coming out firing. How are you, boys? I'm doing great, guys. You both know because we have a chat group. I was on the Toronto Maple Leafs last night, third game in a row for them that I released to my clients. We cashed all three, and all three were a little bit nail-bitey. Especially the 0-3 start to the Montreal Canadiens. So yeah, I've homered it for three games, and
You had
I'm
to
on
mention that one.
I'm on a 19-4 run in NHL.
Great.
19 wins, 4 losses, and I got a 5%. My $5 Tuesday play is a 5%er, so I'm excited about tonight, and I might be going to play some poker with Carm tonight. So life is good.
Life is good. Andrew, let's get right to it, man. I'm going to go to you first on this one. I usually go to the guest first, but you've had a good pulse on a couple of these teams, on two of these teams, I think, for a good part of the year. Rangers minus 135 at home against Ottawa. Ottawa plus 115. That's a line that we normally wouldn't see in a game like this. If these two teams, if this game was being played last year, I think the Rangers would be about 155, 160 against Ottawa. But the Sens dragging themselves from the bottom of the standings and into that wild card discussion. Give me your thoughts on this one. How are you playing this?
Well, I mean, look, I love the fact that we're here in January 21st, and every single day before puck time starts, I want to just go over the odds for all these teams to make the playoffs and where they stand in the playoffs. And it's not just within the Atlantic Division right now, it's the wild card spots. I mean, even between Ottawa, New York, Montreal, Columbus, Tampa Bay, even after losing last night. And I was on Toronto as well, Prez, so happy we both cashed that. And you take a look at this game in particular, I think that Ottawa is going to have a little bit of a step back tonight, guys. I think that you look at this New York Rangers team during some of their poor play, they have seemed to play a little bit better, at least at home, at the Garden here. And when I have taken a look at the Ottawa Senators, there's no denying that they've been playing some good defensive hockey, but there's a lot of numbers that will support the fact that Merrilainen and some of the goaltenders for the Senators have been bailing them out. And I know the Senators have improved. I know they're a better team this year. In fact, they're minus 210 right now to make the postseason. So obviously, they are, out of all the teams vying for a playoff spot, they are that team sitting comfortably, according to the odds makers. But in this situation, I have two bets, and I'm splitting them in half for a half unit on one, half unit on the other, with the Rangers on the money line and the Rangers to get to 4 goals at plus 130. I like this team here. I think that they created so many chances against the Montreal Canadiens in that game. I think we saw Jakub Dobish play in a phenomenal game and win his 5th straight start for the Canadiens as a rookie. And I think the power play had a bunch of chances for New York. They couldn't convert. I like this team at home. I like how they match up at home. Getting the last change in this game is very important to me. So I will take the New York Rangers, and it's a pretty nice plus price, plus 130 on the Rangers to get to 4. A little bit contrarian because the Senators' defense has been really good lately. But last night, I had the Leafs plus 110 to get to 4. Didn't want that minus price. And, hey, it didn't look good early on, but then the goals piled on, and they got me that team total at plus money. So I'm on the Rangers tonight. I like the spot play for them. And I think this is kind of an advanced moment where you get kind of the more focused and motivated team, even though they all should be motivated. But I really like the spot for the Rangers. So I'll go to Prez for his thoughts here in this game. Anything?
Well, why, thank you, Andrew. First, I want to shout out Roger Long. Roger is not an NHL bettor, but he stopped by to give you two guys some kind words in the chat room. So I asked Roger, why are you not an NHL bettor? And his response is, he never played it as a youth. I never played any damn sport. And I bet on it. He doesn't understand the rules completely. I don't understand anything. And I bet lots of stuff. And it must be my own plays and have no opinion on it. That I can accept, Roger. But the first two, I don't. As for this game, New York Rangers and Ottawa, I like the under in this game. Firstly, Andrew, I liked your breakdown a lot, and I agree with your take on the Ottawa Senators having an off day today. This is their 3rd game in 4 nights, and that's a big-time fade spot moving forward. But I'm looking to play the under here. Ottawa 14, 26, and 6 to the under. The Rangers are 21, 24 to the under. But more importantly, the Rangers, who were playing zero defense for about 2 months, are now starting to play much better defense. They played terribly against Montreal. They allowed 5 goals. But they held a high-scoring Columbus team to 0. And they have Shesterkin has finally started playing, and I don't want to say Shesterkin-type hockey, but at least much better hockey. I also think the Rangers are looking to make a little bit of a run, and whenever teams want to start, they all want to win. Whenever teams really need to win and need to get going, they have to look at defense first. So I look at this game, and I think Ottawa's going to have tired legs. I think Ottawa's not going to get more than 2 goals. I'm not going to bet that the Rangers can get 5. There is a few 6s out there. I'm taking under the total.
Prez, I tend to agree with you. You look at this Rangers team, and I'm with Andrew on liking the Rangers in the spot in lane like 135. I've been saying for the last month and a half, I think we've been saying on the show, what's wrong with the New York Rangers? It's got to get a lot worse before it gets better. And it has gotten better. If you look at their last 10 games, 6 wins, 3 OT losses. And you look at those OT losses, you look at it, they blew a lead against the Rangers. They blew a lead against Dallas at home where they got off to a big lead. The game against Colorado, Colorado scores one late with the goalie pulled and then wins it in OT. And then the game in Montreal, that goalie whose name I cannot pronounce, absolutely stood on his head, played phenomenal, but they're picking up points and they're winning games. They have 1 regulation loss. They're playing some very good hockey right now, and I think they're a buy-on team, and you're getting them at 135 because the Ottawa Senators are playing well at the moment. So at 135, I do like the Rangers in this one. Do you want to add anything before we get to the next game, Prez?
Nah.
Okay. Dallas Stars, minus 130. I'm going to go right back to you, Prez. Minus 130. Carolina plus 110. Total sits here at 6, shaded to the under 20 cents. Carolina didn't even look like they showed up in that first period against Chicago, but the second and third periods absolutely dominated puck possession, shots on goal. Anytime you get close to 50 or 50 shots on goal, you should be winning games in regulation and not in OT. But that's where we are here, Prez, with this one. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Carm, listen, this one is a tough one, and I do lean on Dallas here, but I don't want to sit here when there's a full slate of games. It's like, do I want to bet on a really good team? Sure, I'm betting on Dallas. Do I want to bet against a really good team? Hell freaking no. No, I don't want to bet against Dallas, and I don't want to bet against Carolina. I lean on Dallas here, and I mean, if you can never go wrong taking an under in either of these two games. Dallas is 13-27-6 to the under. Carolina 19-24-4 to the under. These are two stone cold under teams. Dallas more so than anything. So I lean on Dallas. I lean on the under, but why would I want to mess with this game?
Oh, I get it, and I'm glad at least you have an opinion on this one, Andrew. You look at it; it's a back-to-back for Carolina, a big game in which they had obviously had to travel. But you look at you can look short term, you can look long term. They're just not performing on the road, and this is something that normally plagues them in the playoffs. And it's plaguing them in the regular season. They have 3 wins their last 10 games on the road, one against the Rangers, one against the Panthers, and then last night's 4-3 win in OT. Seems like they play the better teams better. It's something that we talked about yesterday with the Leafs in years past. The Leafs get up for the good teams and down for the bad teams. What do you do in this spot? Do you lay the minus 130 here, or do you take Carolina on a back-to-back in a tough venue against this Dallas team?
Carm, it's funny because yesterday I wanted to do some content, like a quick little video. So I posted a video on Twitter, and I just gave out, it was literally like the most chalky parlay I could have ever given out, Bruins and Hurricanes. And both of them were so hard to get. I mean, the Bruins were losing to the Sharks in the afternoon. Then they had like a 3 or 4 goal third period. They get that job done. And then Chicago's up 2-0 on the Hurricanes yesterday. Then all of a sudden it's 3-2, 3-3, ends up going to overtime, and Carolina pulls it out. So I make a little video about this chalky parlay I made with 2 favorites, and that goes to show. I mean, some of these favorites, one of them usually ends up going to overtime to screw regulation bettors, but it is a game coming off overtime for Carolina. So despite coming off an easier opponent, they are coming off overtime. And, I'm kind of questioning this price here, guys. Like when I look at this number, it kind of makes me a little bit worried. Just with the price alone, I was a little bit confused looking at this. But when I look at this number here, I know you guys are going to think, Andrew's kind of repeating himself with these team totals all the time. But when I look at this team with Dallas, when they beat the Leafs, they put 4 goals up on the board. When they beat the Red Wings, they put 4 goals up on the board. When they beat the Senators, 4 goals. When they beat the Rangers, they put up 5 goals. Out of every single team in the league this year, when I bet on them, I want to bet the team total. This Dallas Stars team, Carm, when you go through the list, if you search up right now Dallas Stars scores and you scroll through all the wins that they have this season, a very strong percentage of those victories, they scored 4 goals. So you're going to go from minus 130 to plus 125. You mentioned it. Carolina at home versus on the road have been a very different team. This will be a play I'm betting with my money. Dallas to get to 4 goals here. I like it at plus 125 price. And I know that this new situation I've been talking about with the backup starting game 1 and the regular guy starting game 2, similar to what we're seeing tonight with Tampa Bay, with Vasilevsky starting the second half of back-to-back. We are seeing that in Carolina. But Carm, I have to continue to look to betting against this team on the road, against them on second half of back-to-backs. And when I bet on Dallas, I'm telling you, this has been probably my favorite total team on the season, and I probably haven't bet on them enough. But I mean, minus 130 to plus 125 long term, that really changes the win percentage you need to be successful.
No, I agree. I think as far as goaltending goes, Andrew, Carolina's probably one of the teams I'm not worried about when they go number one, number two, because with Freddie Anderson back now, it's Anderson or Kochekov. So, and he's been good for most of the season. So the fact that they can now send someone back down to the minors and go with these two guys is good. I'm leaning under in this one. You know, I talked yesterday about sometimes just finding plays that have been profitable all year long, kind of like Minnesota on the puck line, and they go into Colorado and get that one done. The Dallas Stars this year have the best record at home for over unders. The unders plus 850 units if you're flat betting all Dallas unders. 15, 6, and 3 this season to the under at home for the Dallas Stars. Maybe we get a tired Canes team. We'll see after that an OT loss and having to travel to Dallas for this one. But I do like Dallas in the spot, but I like the under better. So I'm going to go with the under in this one and play the numbers, the percentages on. It's been profitable all season long. Let's see if we can continue with another one tonight. All right, we got the playlist coming, and Andrew, you're getting some great comments about your glasses. One guy's like, is Andrew wearing safety glasses today? Which kind of looks like safety glasses. But another guy called you a young Elton John, I think. So
Oh wow.
with that said,
Okay.
Andrew, it's time for your prop playlist. Give us some winners.
Not sure that was the look I'm going for, but with the amount of screen time I have every day, it's kind of sad. So these have been helping me out a lot. But great deals at WagerTalk right now. $11 a day, $77 for the week. All sports, everything I release, NFL, NBA, NHL, whatever it might be. You guys can join me. All access pass, wagertalk.com. $5 Tuesday. My best NHL play will be available for just $5. Really excited for today. It's not a huge slate, which I kind of like in the NHL. It's a perfect size slate to go through to analyze and find some of the best bets that you like the most. So feel free, guys, to go to my page. Join me. Since early December, we're up 27 units in the NHL and 6-0 to start the NFL postseason. So, hey, it might be props, guys, but all the money spends the same. Let's go to the prop segment here. We're going to go with Braden Point from the Tampa Bay Lightning against my Canadians tonight, over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 120. This game should have some pace to it. You know, Tampa will not be happy after how many goals they surrendered against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It might be a second half of a back-to-back, but I usually look towards the team that lost. If they're playing second half of back-to-back, that motivation is still there. You know, it might be some fatigue defensively, but that offensive motivation is there. There are going to be a lot of pucks thrown at the net. And I think Braden Point at a plus 120 price is really good. He's hit this in 6 straight, specifically against Montreal. And lately, guys, I've gone a lot more for the matchup-based props than I have against the recency props. And I've really been doing well with those so far. So we'll continue to go with that one. Back to the Rangers and Ottawa Senators game. We spoke about it just a few moments ago on PuckTime. Alexis Lafreniere continues to get a pretty good price here at minus 120 just to record a point. Well, he has a point in 6 straight games against the Ottawa Senators. He's a player that continues to be an undervalued commodity on this New York Rangers team. Sure, he's not Panarin. He's not Kreider. He's not Zibanejad, but he's still this young piece, third-line guy, second-line guy every couple nights. He's a guy at minus 120. I think we should all be taking tonight to get a point for the New York Rangers. So just 2 player props, Carm. But so far, since I dropped that third prop, it's been going well. So we're going to stick to just 2 moving forward, and hopefully we can get on a good streak here with these. But guys, I know it is $5 Tuesday, but I think the best deal alive right now at WagerTalk is that $77 for a week all access pass. You can use that on Prez. You know, he's got a 5% play tonight. Might as well use the $77 deal of Carmine as well. We're going in multiple sports. So I'll send it back to you with this, Carm. I know it's $5 Tuesday, but I really do like that 7-day deal.
Yeah, no, it's a great deal. It's like the old $9 Mondays, right? But you get it for like pretty much like 7 days. So it's a great deal in that sense. $11 a day is a great deal for guys who have multiple sports and are posting plays throughout the week. Prez, Edmonton
My
Oilers,
man.
Washington Capitals, minus 140 on the Oilers, plus 120 on Washington. I'm going to say this. I'm going to make mine quick and then go to you. Sometimes I like these 20 minutes, get in, get out. Washington Capitals, 15-7 to the first period over this year on the road, heading to Edmonton after playing a few defensive sides that are lacking in scoring. This looks like this one could have some goals in it. First period over for me in this one. What are your thoughts?
Hold on. I just made a big screw up, actually. Can you go to Andrew? Come back to me.
Okay. Prez made a
Hopefully
big
everything's
screw up,
okay.
apparently. So, Andrew, we go to you for your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, Carm, I'm going to keep my thoughts short, so I'll try not to make it too short, I guess. But this is going to be one of those angles where I just think you gotta make two bets here in this one. Number one, it's the game after the star quarterback is injured, and you get a discount with the spread, right? It's the game after you have a key injury to a defensive player and you get a discount with the number or the team rallies around it. Well, in this instance, we are getting a price here with the Oilers at home with no Connor McDavid. And if you remind people at home, whenever Connor McDavid has missed time, who has stepped up? Who has proven that they have potential to carry their own team? Well, it's Leon Draisaitl. So I like this Edmonton Oilers team. And although I haven't been very good with these this year, there's one play I like quite a bit, plus 145. Oilers win the first period tonight. And if you don't like that one, you can take them on the full game if you please. And then if you want to take a look at these player props, like I'm telling you right now, the over-under for 1.5 points to the over for Leon Draisaitl is plus 115. That might not sound like a lot, but I'm telling you, I think that there's value in that tonight. Whenever McDavid misses time, he fills that role, Carmen. He does a really good job of that. Let's not forget, he's also in line to win a couple different awards this season, including the Hart Trophy. So I think he'll be just fine on his own. And then with McDavid being out, it also opens up more shots on goal for certain players. And I think Zach Hyman will get at least 3 shots, over 2.5 shots on goal. So look, the Capitals are a team that people go after us, say, hey, you're going to keep fading this team. But according to certain strength of schedule websites that I look at, the Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights have some of the easiest schedules remaining. And they had the easiest schedule to start the season and the hardest schedule remaining. Obviously, this game is included in that, Carm. It also goes to show that when we look at it, they have 2 really good goaltenders, which is obviously a great thing. But there's been a lot of games where the Capitals have been kept alive because of their goaltending. So I like this Oilers team. I like them in a couple different ways tonight. We'll see how I end up playing them. But I just think it's great to look at. Hey, look, McDavid's out. People are going to be all over Washington. I would argue Washington might end up being a public money line dog tonight in the NHL because McDavid's out. So I like them to get the job done.
Well, Andrew, 3-game suspension. I talked about it. It was whether you're a star or whether you're a goon, as I mentioned on the show yesterday. You don't cross-check someone in the face, and I know Myers did it as well too. You don't cross-check anyone in the neck, face, shoulders. It just shouldn't happen in the game. I get it. It's born on frustration, but you can't do it, and he's serving time for it. So we'll see how that goes for them tonight. But they've won with McDavid out of the lineup before. These teams step up. The Leafs have played extremely well with their star out of the lineup as well too when Matthews sat. So we'll see. Andrew, the one thing about yesterday, and before we go to Prez, who had a little bit of an error, he said, but 64 goals scored yesterday in the NHL across 9 games. The grand salami was 53. But how would you like to be holding an under ticket on and I didn't, it wasn't me, but on Utah and Winnipeg? that 36 minutes into the game, it is scoreless. And then they score 7 goals in the last 24 minutes of that game. If you had the over, please go to church and leave a little extra in the collection plate. If you had the under, don't take from the collection plate. Just find another play to get it back tonight. But Prez, are you ready for us?
Yes, sir. So I'm going to tell you what happened. So,
all right, tell us.
Listen, I have a problem listening to other people talk. I was doing some work and I was putting in Edmonton as a free play to my, we have a free play section. I accidentally put it in as a 3-unit play for my clients. So I had a panic attack because it's not a 3-unit play. It's a free pick. But crisis averted because as one of the owners, I have access to the back end. So I went in and deleted the play. So that's that. Okay. So now you know. I really like Edmonton. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. You really like Edmonton. No, I was going to say, as a guy that doesn't like to listen to other people talk, you would make a great marriage counselor. You just collect money for an hour's worth of work and then send them home and say, "Oh, I'll see you guys next week. I didn't hear a thing you said, but thanks for coming in and sitting on my couch." You are great. A lot can be learned from listening to other people every once in a while.
Yes. If you want to learn.
And with that said,
a good quote I like people would say, are you listening for waiting for yourself to speak next, or are you listening to actually hear what that person is saying? And too many people these days, they're just waiting for their turn to speak and not actually listening to the person talking, that's a big problem. It's a big problem. And I'm coaching youth volleyball. I coach 17, 18, and 19-year-olds. And I'll tell you, you can tell the kids that actually give a shit about what you're saying, and you can tell the kids that are just waiting for you to finish up. And it bothers me on a nightly basis. So that's my rant. Over to you, Carm or Prez.
Okay, am I going to get into this Edmonton game or no?
Yeah, we're waiting for you.
I really like Edmonton tonight. I like the no Connor bump. But, man, more importantly, Edmonton just put up – they probably played their worst offensive game in the entire Connor era last game. I get that they put up 2 goals, but, man, they shot the puck on net 15 times. 15 bloody times. They shoot the puck on net 15 times in a period regularly. So this is a team that had no puck possession last game, no puck control, no offensive zone work, barely any power plays, nothing went right. I want to play on a really good team after a game like that. And I also think that the Washington Capitals are a fade team moving forward. Now, I'm not going to say that they're terrible or this, that, and the other. They are not their record. And I think we need to know those kind of things as professional bettors and try to get ahead of it. I decided after the Leafs lost 3 games in a row that I was going to bet them the next 3 games. Well, I'm going to bet against Washington in some form or another moving forward for the next little while. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't think I am. So I think Edmonton is a bet on tonight, and I think Washington's a bet against for the next little while.
Okay. I'll give you a stat here. This one goes back to as of October 30th. Andrew, October 30th of 2024, before McDavid missed some games, the Oilers, with him out of the lineup, were, where are we here? 20, 26, and 10. But a majority of that, it says, was back in 2015 due to an injury. So Oilers 22, 27, and 10 is an updated one with McDavid as well, to 22, 27, and 10. So it's not a complete disaster with him being out of the lineup, just because they do have guys on that team that can score. They're not a team that's dependent on one guy and one guy only. So we shall see. And that's probably why the total is probably about a half goal lower than it should be, I think, in this game. This would be likely a 6 and possibly a 6.5 shaded to the under if McDavid was in goal. Thoughts on that, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's only very few players that can impact a total, very few players that can impact even a money line price this big in the NHL. a bit different than some sports because obviously there's still 21 guys out there, right? So, yeah, I completely agree with you, Carmen. I think it should be interesting to see how it impacts the total, not just the side. So, good point, and we'll see. I think a low-scoring Oilers victory would be probably good for the books. We'll see what happens. I could be making this up, and I could be wrong with the Capitals being a public team, but people love to bet against teams without their star players out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Right, Prez, you have a 5%
My
play
man.
up tonight in the NHL. Tell us what you have up at WagerTalk and give us a play to end the show for you.
Yeah, sure, brothers. So a bunch of people over 100 have already taken advantage of my 5% play. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm seeing the NHL really, really well right now. I gave out the Boston Bruins -1.5 as a free pick yesterday. That cashed. I gave out the Ottawa Senators a few days ago as a free pick. That cashed. I've cashed 19 of my last 23 NHL plays. I'm up double-digit unit profit on the season for my NHL clients. My NHL big plays, 3% and above, 64% on the year. I have my favorite bet in 2 weeks tonight. It's a 5%. It's only $5. And I also have a promo code to give you guys, and that is Sport50. Sport50. A month of my NHL is $179. You guys could take $50 off of that and get a month of my NHL for $129. That's the package I would prefer you buy over the $77 one for me personally, because that way you're on my NHL only. And that is what I am killing it at right now. I'm also killing it at NBA, but I really want you guys on my NHL plays. That's my priority moving forward. Anyway, my best bet tonight for the show is the Edmonton Oilers. And as we've been speaking, it's now -150. So there's clearly some info out there about Washington that we don't know, because that line just makes no bloody sense. At -150, I do not like the Edmonton Oilers as much as I did at -140. Thanks for having me, guys. Wager Talk today starts at 1 p.m. at 12 p.m. Eastern, and obviously hope to see you all in the chat room there. Thanks, guys. Be good.
Right, not quite sure what he said, Andrew, because I wasn't listening, but
Nice.
I will go next.
You waited a long
We,
time for that one, right?
Producer Dan, I give him credit, man. Fly Eagles fly.
He's a witty dude. He's a witty dude.
He is.
I gotta go.
He is. He is.
Be
Brad.
good. Be good,
man.
Yeah, I'm not still not sure what he said. Not listening. But anyways, with that said, Andrew, 5% play up in Champions League today. Soccer's been really well. I need to get hockey on board with soccer and NFL, because it's been a good run in those other two sports. It's been a roller coaster, NHL, but we are going to get there. We're going up. So a 5% play is part of the a 5% play up in Champions League today. That one goes early afternoon games. And then a 4% best bet tonight in the NHL, which is part of $5 customer appreciation, 13-6 with customer appreciation play. So let's see if we can make it 14-6 after tonight's game. My best bet, Andrew, I'm going to go with the over in the Buffalo Vancouver game for the first period. It's 1.5 -25. Sabres. Both these teams have been scoring some goals of late. Sabres 8-2 to the over their last 10 games on the road in the first period. Vancouver at home 7-3 to the over in the first period at home. So a couple plays that are based on these teams scoring well and scoring goals in the first period. And let's see if we can get there. So over first period, 1.5 Vancouver and Buffalo. And I'll send it to you for your best bet. Let us know what you have up at Wager Talk and close it out.
Carm, good luck today, man. I'll be definitely getting that soccer play from you after the show. Nice to have some afternoon action. But yeah, $5 Tuesday, I will have my favorite NHL play being just $5. Also putting up an NFL prop today. Looking forward to that. Of course, that's 6-0 NFL prop run. But as I've said all show, I truly believe the best special available right now at WagerTalk is that $11 a day deal, $77 for the full week, all access, all sports, everything I release, the second I release it right to you guys. It was a very minor winning night in the NHL last night. Looking to do a lot better tonight, though. And hopefully we can keep this run going. I'm going to go with my best bet, Panthers-Ducks, first period, over 1.5. I've been kind of slowing it down with these system plays with the office shutout angle, but I really do like this one. And the last month, the Anaheim Ducks have been the dead last team as far as expected goals against. I see goals, and I see goals early, and I love that this number isn't too bad at -125, Panthers and Ducks. Guys, the chat room was bumping today live on PuckTime. If you agree with us, if you don't, all are welcome here as long as we keep it classy here on the PuckTime channel. We also appreciate all of you guys that tune in afterwards and comment, like, or subscribe on PuckTime here on WagerTalk TV. So thank you to all of you guys. Great stuff as always. Always enjoy talking hockey with Carmine and Prez. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Wednesday right here on PuckTime.